Hi, Shebahn.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Phil. I'm going to let him just drink that thought in there for a minute. He's not having any of it. Phil, looking at the back pages for you this morning. The Sun reporting on who might come in to succeed at the job of Gareth Southgate. Touch and go is the headline. Thomas Tuchel, eye on Gareth's job, but he'll battle Eddie Howe and Graham Potter. Back page of the Times reporting Eddie Howe on the England shortlist. And then the Mirror says lying in wait. Again, reports on Graham Potter and Eddie Howe. Howe on radar is the Daily Mail, and the Daily Express this morning going for potluck, so thinking of Graham Potter as the favourite to come in there. So this will rumble on all morning, I would believe. There's another story going around, Jeff, that kind of came out yesterday. It's a story on the Mail Online. Jude Bellingham lost it with Gareth Southgate during unseen second half exchange in England's 2024 final defeat by Spain. It's reported when the second goal went in, Jude Bellingham went over and was screaming at Gareth Southgate to make a change. It's also reported that he's maybe not the most popular person in camp. This Adidas advert that came out and almost made it look like Jude Bellingham is the saviour of England. Also the who else shouting when he scored the overhead kick, and then kind of doing that motion that he was grabbing at himself after the goal. Thoughts, please, Jeff?
Well, first of all, this unseen footage of him having a bit of a rut with Gareth Southgate, if that's happened, that footage is out there. By now, we've all seen it, and nobody's seen it as far as I know. No. It's unseen footage. So I'm not doubting the veracity of a story in the Mail Online, not for one moment. But I'm not really sure that's happened. Look, we built him up to be a superstar. Don't we expect him to have some superstar type behaviour? Mm-hmm.
No.
Why?
Yeah, this young man, his attitude throughout the tournament, I think from day one, game one against Serbia, just scoring his header, and all the praise that he got, for me, was due. But you've got to get on with it. And to me, some of his performances, and that's the main thing, were absolutely shocking in my opinion. And it was all about him, and that should never be the way.
Wow. That's what I was going to ask you then. Is there some people who should be dropped based on performances?
Well, you wouldn't drop him based on performance, because he scored a wonderful goal against Serbia,
and it's the same with Harry Kane.
Which won us the game, and he kept us in the match with that incredible overhead kick. So yeah, he didn't perform to the sort of golden boy standards, if you like, but nevertheless, Tomo, why you wouldn't take him off. Unless there was a really good reason to, because he has that magic in his boots that can always get you a goal.
It is, and it's the reason why you start with these players. It's the same with Harry Kane, why you started, and everybody's going, no, Ollie Walker, and it is after the event, but you couldn't start without Harry Kane and Bellingham. But Bellingham's attitude throughout, it will probably come more in. It was just awful. I don't like to see players like that shrugging the shoulders at his teammates, throwing his arms up because am I the only one trying? His thing at the end.
You've had loads of those at Liverpool over the years.
His things at the end of it was just, I thought, shocking.
What, the kick in the cool box over?
That's me. It was, look at me.
Honestly, Shebahn, if that had been Luis Suarez a few years ago, he said, "Oh, look at the passion he shows."
I'm the only one who's trying in this team, and it was about me. The look on his face when it finished, it was not my team, it was me.
Phil, do you not feel you've been a wee bit harsh there on somebody who's been outstanding for England? They built the team around Jude Bellingham. They build him up, and they look for those little moments to tear him back down again.
It's not one little moment, Shebahn. You need, if you're watching from the first game, he spent most of the time on the floor.
Without him, you wouldn't have been in the final.
Yes, he scored. So did Harry Kane, and Harry Kane's getting absolutely slaughtered.
I agree.
I know it's penalties, but I look at players' performances. And his performances, if it's the play that you're saying, they weren't there. Why weren't they there? Yes, you can say, he got the ball from deep, he ran with it in the wrong areas. I want him to do his work when he gets in and around the box. That's what we were wanting.
And you wonder if that lashing out is frustration at himself as well.
Hey,
It could be
Shebahn,
that as well, Phil. You've got, I mean, the guy drives standards. He's a winner. You've
Can
got
you
to
imagine,
give him that.
He's still a kid,
Saturday
for goodness
afternoons.
sake, come on.
I used to have this for 6 hours.
And he's
on
allowed
a
down,
Saturday.
Jeff.
I know.
Jeff, I'd like to think it's because I was a proper professional, and I was on Soccer Saturday as well, that you weren't.
By the way, Chris, the Leeds fan, has claimed responsibility for that, the SOS gag. The SOS should immediately go to Jurgen Klopp. If we're going to stay with the police, Tomo, don't stand so close to me.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.